Back on TYT Sports, talking more boxing with Robert Axel, the editor-in-chief of Boxing.com. The other great fighter this past week to retire was Sugar Shane Mosley. He retired at 40 years old. He actually lost his last fight to the 21-year-old Mexican prodigy that is Saul Canelo Alvarez. He lost 3 out of his last 4 fights, those to Canelo, Floyd Mayweather, and Manny Pacquiao. No easy opponents, certainly, from those 3. His last win was against Antonio Margarito when hand plasters were found in Margarito's gloves. That was in 2009. But Sugar Shane Mosley, talk to me a little bit about him, Robert. He started fighting at 8 years old, 5 world titles in 3 different weight classes. Certainly not the best of the Sugars, you could say, but certainly a great one.
Well, and certainly one of the great fighters of our era. We tend to forget how very great Mosley was, as we forget how great Roy Jones Jr. was, as we forget how great Evander Holyfield was, if they fight too long. And few of the fighters who don't fight too long. And Mosley, much to everybody's regret, fought too long. He lost, as you say, his last several fights. He has taken some serious beatings, and as happy as I am that Winky Wright retired, I'm 10 times happier that Shane Mosley has decided to retire.
Are you saying that because you are, I mean, look, you've been around the fight game for a long time. I mean, you've seen a lot of good fighters, but is it because of the person he is, because of his health, because of the beatings that he's taken? Why do you say that?
Well, it's all of the above. I mean, person he is, he's like a really decent chap. There's no question about it. Everybody likes Shane Mosley. He has fought too long. The beatings he's taken some really serious beatings. And anybody who watched that last fight where Canelo was just really wailing away on him, I mean, was wincing as they were watching that, as shot after shot landed. Mosley has been suffering. I mean, he has slowed down considerably. He isn't the elegant speedster that he was when he was young. Now, that's to be expected as any fighter grows old. But Mosley has grown old a little bit faster than a lot of other fighters. It's begun to affect his speech. He's slowed down. I sort of look at him, he doesn't quite look like he's in focus almost. And it's been time to get out. It's been time to get out for a long time. And unfortunately, he got divorced. The wife got the house. The wife got the kids. The wife got the money. The wife got his championship belts. He had to fight. He needed the money. Promoters were willing to give him a chance to fight, to earn some money, and he simply had become a stepping stone. Yeah. And there's no way that a man like Mosley should be treated as a stepping stone. He was a great champion, and again, Hall of Fame bound without a doubt.
He beat Oscar De La Hoya 2 times in his professional career. The two are now businessmen together at Golden Boy Promotions. He also had never been knocked out. First, talk to me about the 2 wins against Oscar De La Hoya. Would you say those were his best fights as a professional boxer?
Oh, they were huge fights. I mean, enormous fights. De La Hoya, everybody knows De La Hoya. I mean, the Golden Boy, terrific fighter. But again, Mosley had his number. I mean, there was no question about it. Mosley was faster. He was stronger. He was more aggressive. De La Hoya was a good little fighter, no question about it. And but I think in the final estimation, I would probably rank. This might be extreme, but I would probably rank Shane higher, actually. He was certainly a more exciting fighter, and I think he actually had tougher fights.
Just to clarify, you'd rank him higher than Oscar De La Hoya?
I would. Now, that's a personal preference, and I know that the general thinking would not agree with me with that, but that I would rather watch a Shane Mosley fight in his prime than watch an Oscar De La Hoya fight in his prime.
Let me ask you this also. As we said, you know, he's never been KO'd. He beat Oscar De La Hoya 2 times. Which would you say is more impressive?
Well, probably the beating of De La Hoya. I mean, the fact that he's never been knocked out is certainly to his credit. I mean, it speaks highly of his incredible chin, but it has also been it may turn out to be a problem in the long term. Sometimes fighters who get knocked out don't suffer severe beatings because they're knocked out. They're unconscious. Shane could take it. I mean, here he is. He just recently fought someone half his age. I mean, this juggernaut, this thudding, hard-hitting Mexican, Canelo Alvarez, and he was able to take it. Now, again, that's quite amazing that he was able to take it. But again, I mean, there's sometimes it's not really the one's advantage to be able to take as much punishment as certain fighters can take, and I think that may include Shane Mosley.
There is one cloud of doubt with Sugar Shane Mosley's career when he tested positive for the steroids, the clear and the cream. I mean, you have said that there is, without a doubt, he is going to be a Hall of Famer. I certainly think so as well. So the cloud of doubt is certainly minimalized with these two steroids showing up in his blood, although he has denied ever having knowledge of taking them. I mean, is it just kind of pushed to the side then, what happened?
Well, it is sort of pushed to the side. He subsequently says he didn't know. I don't doubt that he didn't know. But who can really be sure of such things? I mean, Victor Conte cleaned up his act, as did Shane Mosley, and he tested negative before he fought Mayweather, of course, because Mayweather insisted on testing. And we don't really know how deeply ingrained the use of illegal steroids is in boxing. As you know, we just had a couple of major fights that went down the tubes because fighters tested positive. I'm thinking of Berto and Lamont Peterson. So we really don't know. Everybody's sort of waiting for the other shoe to drop, and I think people should probably be covering their heads because I think a shoe store may be falling from the heavens before we know it.
Mosley is now training his son, a man who has never ducked any opponents in his professional career and is now getting into the promotions game again with Oscar De La Hoya at Golden Boy Promotions. Robert Exel, the editor-in-chief of Boxing.com. You could follow him on Twitter at boxing_com and follow his superb writing at www.boxing.com. Robert, thank you so much for the time, and we'll talk to you this week for Bradley Pacquiao.
Great, Rick. Talk to you soon.